In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to run the engine, the basic way, just to get you started. First thing I always do is grab a radioactive outfit. But in order for you to open up this door, you don't need the chief engineer. You just have to go to this thing, swipe your ID, and then turn off environmentals. Okay, then you just use a crowbar on it when environmentals are off to open it. In here you have some stuff. First thing you want to do is grab some gas. The good gas. And you could run many different gases in this setup, but the most basic would be nitrogen. And we should have our own supply. This is a backup tank right there. We got 2 here already. So the first thing you want to do is wrench these in. And I should be wearing protective gear, which is the first thing would be right here is where I start. I put on radioactive hood, radioactive suit. You could do a Geiger counter if you want. The noise gets annoying. Definitely want these glasses, it's essential. Now you want to put on your oxygen and you want to open these up to max. This is the first thing you want to do before even starting the engine. Sounds like someone started it already, but it's okay. So this is now flowing. We need it to flow in here. So we're going to turn this off, turn this on, max, and then this also on max. So you're pumping nitrogen in and it's going to be sucking nitrogen out. Here you want this on max. This is going to send everything out here to cool down in space and then come back in. You could bypass it here. Again, I'm just showing you the basic setup. And then you turn all these on. You basically just want nitrogen to go back through the system, through the loop, and everything else is going to go out to the waste. So all those are on now, that's good. Everything else goes out back out the waste. And then I do an extra setup here, just to make sure it's cold enough where I send it through here. You don't have to do this, and a lot of people don't do this. So both freezers are on now. So we're not done setting up the loop, see? This is on max. Now all these are max. Now we're gonna go look at everything. This is not scrubbing for some reason. Let's check the scrubbers. We have to find the air panel here. And we want this to remove oxygen, plasma, oxygen plasma, oxygen plasma, and nitrogen, because the nitrogen is gonna also get too hot. So now we're scrubbing all that from the system. And this should be pumping now, it is. That's good. This has to be on. I forgot. Just turn it on, but no filter. And this is going to be a major slowdown of the system, right here. But this is what you would use to maybe siphon plasma into here. Well, let's do that to show you how we can earn some plasma. We would turn this on to plasma, and then we would wrench in. Let's turn off the Geiger. We know it's irradiated around here. Get out of here. Okay. So again, a quick recap if that was too noisy with the Geiger. Wrench these in. Turn these to max. Open this door up. Turn both of these on. Turn this on while you're here and go to the air menu. Go to scrubbers and set everything that we set from before. Make sure the space one is on max. And then coming back in is on max. That was slowing us down there. And then all these filters are set to nitrogen, just to make sure we filter everything out. Goes back through our cold loop, back in the system. To give you a look at what this looks like real quick, we also have this app on our PDA. My fingers are too big with the gloves on. Great. Details. So this shows you the integrity of the engine, how the temperature of it's great right now. What gases are in there, like this is, it's crazy. Right now we're just all nitrogen, nothing's being produced negative. So now the second part of this is pumping this thing full of lasers. So I like bringing extra lasers. When you do it like this, you can add a few extra lasers, and the lasers is what adds power to the system. Now this is where you kind of have to get, what is it, Alt left click spins it, yep, okay. Oops, I don't think that's facing the right way. That is now. So you want to wrench it down. There has to be a power line under this for it to work. Okay, and then you also have to weld it. I should have welding goggles. but I don't, then I'm not gonna go grab them. So those are all good. This has to hit these things to shoot towards the crystal, and you could use reflectors. Like we'll set this one up. This reflector has to turn a little bit more, I would say 15 degrees that way. And let's see what happens. Perfect, see that? We could turn that one on. So now we got 2 lasers running. And then we have insulated gloves on, you need them, and then you could run some more cable there. Alright, and let's go get one more laser. Plug that in there. I haven't turned on that third one, but because I'll show you, we're gonna go put a mirror on the other side. And always be careful of that laser, you don't walk into it. It's bad. You son of a... There we go. We want the wiring, we want the wrenching, and then I don't want to go blind too quick, because then that'll affect the video. That's why I love this game. But let's weld it. Now it's secured. We could turn this side on now, and this one technically, but I don't want to turn that one on until we move this thing. Let me guess, we're gonna have to weld you two? Unweld it. Ugh. So we got 2 more eye harmers, I call it. That should work. This has to rotate now quite a bit. Let's aim it like that, and then tweak it that way, maybe? Well, no, never mind. Let's put it back where it was, because I think it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna shoot into that one. Okay, watch this. Let's go check the crystal first before we add any more spicy fire. Okay, it's generating good power already. Now another laser is gonna make it go cuckoo. Now here's a trick. You could rest and lay down and do a little limbo underneath the laser, and it won't hurt you. I'm filming a documentary on a basic engine setup for beginners. We can keep that laser on and just... It might be damaging stuff, but we'll move quick. This does have to rotate like we had it. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laser setup. Pretty good. And we can add more. There's room for more. So now we go check the system. Fire alarm in the ordnance lab. Great. The firefighters are working on it. So now the supermatter is still doing great. We have 3% oxygen, 1% plasma, and this is where you get problems. The more the oxygen rises and the plasma, you have room for fire to happen. Temperature in here is still pretty good. We have a temperature limit that we can, you can see where that comes from. So the temperature limit's high before it ignites. You see, that's why we're keeping everything cool. We're generating amp check. You go to the amp check. We're not doing too good right now. We have to add more power. And here's something else you have to do. We have to max out. So this is the available power. We have to charge, and we also have to output. So we always charge more than we output. We're outputting 180, we're charging 200. Okay, now that's going to help charge everything up, and that should get stuff back online. Here we go. Look, supply is rising now. You have to fix these before you know. So there's some problems around the station you can see on this. Some power problems, charging issues. Hopefully, if this doesn't correct itself, we have to go out. That's a whole different video though. But the power is rising. I say we add more lasers, get this thing really cooking up. To do that, I think you could build more reflectors with all those, but I think we have enough. Let's take a look. This is a reinforced wall. They're hard to take apart, but it is possible. It might blind me, but let me show you, let me give you a little mini tutorial. First, start with a screwdriver, left click and right click, do both of every tool until you finally figure out which one you start with, okay? It was the wiring. Okay, well you can cut the outer thing. I don't know if you start there, but the support lines are screwed securely to the cover. So it's telling you to use a screwdriver, see? You begin unscrewing the lines. Lines are unsecure. You can always hold shift and left click to examine it again. The metal cover is firmly welded. So you bust out this thing and start slicing through, going blind. That's what the hardcore engineers do. Now I think it's a matter of just like, it's connected loosely to the girder. Maybe a little crowbar action, see? Pry it off. Then I bet it's a wrench or another slice somewhere. Nothing is impossible to an engineer. See a little wrench action now. Now maybe a cutter. They're welded firmly down. We gotta cut the bolts again. But basically, you've seen the basic setup. Now let me explain while I'm modifying this how you would make it better in essential layman's terms. You would remove these valves everywhere and just do straight pipe all around the circuit of pipes that I walked you around. Anywhere that there's a slowdown, unsecuring the support struts. So yeah, anywhere there's a slowdown, those filters, you would remove those. You can add better devices. This is still not free yet. Oh, the inner grill has to be cut. Okay. Power's coming back online. Unsecuring frame, now you have a normal wall frame. The reason we did this is we're going to put a laser right behind the stack. Very snugly. So let's get our wiring out. Ooh, I wonder if that was toxins. Now's a good time to check the radio. We don't want to walk in this beam path. You understand? There we go. And again, you hold Alt and left click to rotate the laser. When it's in position, we're going to wrench it and weld it. This thing is aiming straight for the crystal. Okay, now this other can of nitrogen we had, we're just going to throw that into the loop also, just as like an extra top off, I call it. You can never have too much nitrogen. There's better gases you could run through here. You're going to have to check the wiki on that. I think Freon is one of the coolest. So remember how I told you before that we are collecting plasma in here, huh? Very slowly from the engine. But it's building up little by little. So again, you would remove these things to make the system run better. You do it in the beginning though. You can't do it now. Otherwise it would leak gas and stuff. But you can see that, you know, those are for more advanced setups, what I'm talking about. We're going to put one more laser there. Wait a minute. I might not be able to. Am I using that mirror? This mirror is not being used at all, but we're going to use it. Wow, let's go test the amp check now. Let me show you on here. You have an amp check. You could download it, I think. Well, you at least have this to check the integrity. Well, now we could set up more Tesla coils, I think, to collect the energy better. That's these things. I think we have a couple extra in here. No, just field generators. Again, you can make those things. You can make Tesla coils. You can order more from Cargo. Let's go check the amp check. I think you could download it. Let's just double check you can download it or not. NT Software Hub Engineering. Amp check is incompatible. This could be for a various number of reasons. You don't have enough GQ, which we do. That's like your memory and storage. Or you don't have access to this. Like maybe this is only for the chief engineer, you understand? But we have access to it here on this computer. They wouldn't want that to fall into bad people's hands just on a random PDA, you know? So here's amp check now. Fingers are too big, always. Always. Amp check. Supplies 540, draws 380. Everything is charged though, so that's good. Everything's doing good. And we have plenty of supply. So to get more energy, there's various ways. You have atmospherics with their turbine. The HFR, like it's another crazy engine. You have solars all over the entire station. It's a fish. Okay, look, there might be solars out here. So before you go out there, you have to make sure your internals are on, obviously. Let's set this now to, you know, I don't know how much we're going to earn, the energy. So we'll just set it to 60 in, 50 out for now. Okay, ready? So to do this, you have to make sure you have insulated gloves on, because you have to repair the power lines to the solars, as you can see here. Bada bing, bada boom. Go up and down the line. And we're actually taking some damage right now, because this radioactive suit's not meant for space. So you'd be better off with a fireman's outfit. Let's go get that, because we're going to die. That was a clerical error on my part. Engineering, most of the engineers have access to their own spacesuits. Let's drop our gear here. Let's go find a spacesuit. We also have to find some alcohol and go drink because we're hurt. This is a mod suit. That'll work just as good, I think. We just shot ourselves up with some ephedrine. I think that'll help us out. I don't think we'll need the T-ray scanner if we have a mod suit. We have our family heirlooms. No! I just unscrewed the cover. It's no big deal. I just gotta close it. So I think we drag it into it. So the mod suit's worn on your back. You activate all the limbs, boots, hands, body, head. Gotta make sure you're not wearing a hat and stuff. And then power it up. Are you sure? Yes. With the mod suit, you could talk to other people wearing mod suits. It's extremely funny and fun. It's like an in-game iPhone. I've done it before on stream. Let's just see if we can go out there. Magnetic stability, emergency tether, flashlight. Let's put the flashlight on. That's our mod suit panel where you can make calls. And here's our modules if you have any extra, which I don't. Now let's go outside and see if we can survive space. I should have drank some alcohol. My character has a perk that I heal minor injuries when I drink alcohol. So you also have to go up and down these and repair them like this, like so. See? Maybe even like that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. I think that's good. And these are the aiming arrays. They need to be connected to those too. Just gotta make sure, you know. And then let me go check down here. Always be careful and make sure you stay on the scaffolding. There should be another aiming array, possibly. I could be mistaken. I think we're golden now. Let's go check. Put our wiring away. We're back inside. Check the console here. Tracking, you have to turn to scan for new hardware first. So now look, the 64 solar panels are up and running. You're going to do tracking on auto, and this will track the azimuth of the sun. And it actually changes throughout the shift. And the panels actually move. It's really cool sprite work. So now you're going to see we have 96 kilowatts, I think it said. So we're going to want to do like, 100 in and like, let's do like 80, 70 out. Okay? Because that gives us room to charge this backup battery here. That's good to have backups around the station. And then let's go check the amp check to see if it's registering more power. Besides our engine probably doing good. We also should check our engine while we're here. Yeah, look, we're up to 620 now. That's good. We came a little close here. Something happened where, and that could be anything. That could be someone using too much teleporter somewhere, too much kitchen. The cook is using the ovens too much. Still doing great in here. Delicately adding certain gases, you can output some more power and get crazy, you know? Like if you can inject a little bit of oxygen in there, but right now it's good. Don't play any games till you learn and read the wiki on what is what. If we didn't have these goggles on, we would be hallucinating. This engine causes mass hallucinations. Grounding rod. This is great. We're doing good. And that's pretty much engine 101. I showed you the solars. If you look at the map that you're on the wiki, you'll see where the rest of them are located. They are, I think there's like 4 arrays. One up here, one maybe on the northwest side, one on the southeast and southwest side. And that's just maybe standard issue, So when you're done fixing the engine, what do? You can experiment every round and get better and better at making the engine more efficient, more high-powered outputs where you don't even need to consider using solar except for backup. Just different gases. You can even make gases with this engine and, with these different valves here and basically siphon off gases that are produced. It's like a little mini Atmos here. There's obviously things you could do over here by injecting things into the system. That's super cool. Play around. Experiment. When you're not playing with the engine itself, you go around the station. Let's go get some. Let's turn off our mod suit, take our helmet off. You go around the station repairing stuff. You are the station's basically engineer in terms of repairs also. You can go, you have pretty high level access to most of the ship. You can repair numerous things. Tips on being a good engineer: learn construction. There's a whole guide to construction. Read this if you're bored one day. If you're sitting on the toilet, read the construction guide to construction on the wiki. You could build anything you can imagine. It's wild. And then another thing you should learn how to do is hacking. You should learn how to hack every machine out here. Like, for example, this cigarette machine right now. You could buy these things and then premium. These things. If we were to hack it, we could buy other things. Let me show you while we wait for this guy. You take a screwdriver, open up the panel, take a multi-tool and left click on it. And then you want to pulse down the list until you change the green light, I think. So that's the orange light, that's bad. That's a malfunction. Let's try pulsing it again. Oh, now it's super messing up. So it's pretty funny. This is going haywire. Pulse the gray one. Galactic Uncommon. Encoded audio language. Draconic. Mothic. Voltaic. So I'm changing the languages on this thing. Purple is yellow light on. Red light, oh, that's I think AI or... So cyan is the green light. So once you figure it out for one, it's the same for everything around the whole station. Let me give you a better example on a machine that's not malfunctioning. So now cyan pulse, green light's on. You put that away now and then close the panel. And now you could buy contraband from the coffee machine, which is a cup of ice. The ice melts back into water. I've never had ice before. I think it makes people slip. Maybe you can make iced coffee with it. Let's see if we did this. Oh yeah, look. Cigarette machine contraband's an e-cigarette. It's also shooting things out for free. Look, you can redesign it. These vapes are awesome. You can e-mag them so it like makes everybody crazily high around you. I think I just put it in my mouth. How do we use an e-cigarette? Let's waste our entire budget finding out. You start puffing on the vape. I think you have to e-mag it for it to like really start puffing on people. Right now it's just a cool cigarette. But that's pretty much it. That's the end of our little tutorial here. Let me show you the last thing you never want to do, and this is how we'll end the video. You never want to touch the crystal. You never want to go in here and touch it. A lot of people weld this door shut because of all the pressure in here. It'll suck you right in. Let me give you a word of advice though, and a kind of a hint. You can throw things in here that kind of power the engine. You get crazy spikes of energy depending on what you throw in here. Let me give you just a couple examples. We'll throw the crowbar in. They just vaporize, but experiment. See that? And toxins were released. Uh-oh. Now finally, you never want to walk into the crystal because you will also be vaporized. Oh, I won't even be able to show you. We're just getting wiped out from radiation. Very powerful engines. You notice that we were okay until we threw that crowbar in. That kind of like spiked the energy up a little bit. So definitely experiment. Some good engineers build disposal systems. At the very least, they'll have one engineer modifying the loop of gases. The other engineer will pop up this floor very carefully, turn the scrubbers off real quick, and they'll build a disposal system with a machine out here that you could just throw stuff into it and it just launches it into the crystal, vaporizing. It's crazy. Even people. And here's one final little caveat and Easter egg to show you the mechanics of the game. A clown thrown into a singularity has a chance of stopping the singularity. So very interesting. Thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more.